So I want to do a video on getting clients as a beginner copywriter. So a lot of people think that getting your clients or getting your first client is really difficult to do. I want to break down in this video how you can get your first and your next client really simply. It shouldn't be hard, and I'm going to break down exactly how to do it. And at the end, I'm going to share my DM scripts, the exact messages that I send to people to get clients so you can use them and start getting clients of your own. So right now I'm seeing a bit of a shift when it comes to reaching out and getting clients. So previous to this video and like a few years ago, it used to be easier and faster and quicker to get copywriting clients via direct cold email outreach. So you can still do this. You can still go out and email businesses and brands just with email and get clients that way. But what I'm seeing now is a very less invasive, easier way to get clients, which is through direct messenger on platforms like Instagram. Instagram is a great platform for starting conversations and then moving people from Instagram into email where you can have a proper conversation with someone. But when we're just starting out, all we're trying to do is get someone's attention. And Instagram is a perfect platform to do that because people are active on there and they're always having conversations with people. So that's where we get people's attention, and then we move them across to email. Now, when I first started copywriting, I actually didn't even know what copywriting was. I thought copywriting was something to do with the legalities of things, but that is copyright, not copywriting. So just put those myths to one side. I didn't even know what this was when I first started. I think what I'm trying to say is that having lack of or feeling like you don't have any experience with copywriting is not a negative thing. It's not something that should put you off from starting copywriting. You should use that to your advantage and understand that it doesn't take that long to learn the principles of copywriting. So you can learn how to become a decent copywriter and start making money from copywriting in a matter of days. Like you could do it over a weekend if you actually put some time into it. You're obviously not going to be like an A-grade copywriter, but you don't need to be an A-grade copywriter to start making money with this. Whether you want to make a side income or turn copywriting into your full-time income like I did, the options really are endless, but don't use lack of knowledge as like a stumbling block like a lot of people do. It literally will take you a couple of hours over a weekend to learn the principles of copywriting. And that kind of brings me on to my next point about learning through doing versus prolonged preparation. So a lot of people never actually get started with copywriting in the beginning because they feel they aren't prepared enough. So they spend a long time learning about the art and craft of copywriting, going down every single rabbit hole, reading every single book, buying every single course, but not actually doing copywriting for clients. You need to be doing copywriting, or the fastest way to become a good copywriter is by actually doing copywriting. Like the fastest way to build muscles is by doing the exercise, by doing the push-ups, by doing the squats. You can't just read about push-ups and doing squats and then get the same rewards. You have to actually do the thing. And copywriting is no different. Even if you're starting out right now and you don't have any clients or anything, you can still start by practice writing emails, practice writing sales pages, website copy, whatever. I specialized in writing email marketing copy because I thought that was the best and the highest return on investment for a client and the easiest thing to write. I mean, you can literally write an email that makes a business or a brand money in 15 or 20 minutes. If you are at the start, a couple of cool resources that you can use to learn copywriting. You can watch YouTube videos like this one. You can listen to podcasts. You can download PDF books. You can go and buy books. A good book that I recommend to a lot of people is Cashvertising. So that should give you a really base knowledge of what copywriting is, how it works, and all the principles that make copywriting such a lucrative skill and such a powerful skill as well. So start diving into that, but don't get stuck down the rabbit hole of only consuming content and thinking that you're in this learning phase, which you are, but you also need to practice your craft. Let's talk a bit about expectation. People think that they're going to get their first client in a matter of like 2 or 3 direct messages or emails. The reality is this is a volume game, so the more emails and messages you send out, the higher your chances are of getting your first and your next client. It's as simple as that. And the more you do this, the faster you will get at it. And the more case studies and results you get also is going to reduce that sales cycle of taking potential clients to customers in the future for you. Setting a real expectation for how many direct messages you need to send out, how much time you need to put into doing outreach with messaging is a really good task to do. I personally would probably say within a matter of weeks, not like days or hours. So let's say, for example, you have 30 minutes to an hour every single day to devote to building up your craft of copywriting. That includes like learning the art of copywriting and actually practice writing emails and maybe spending some time reaching out to clients. If you do that every single day for between 2 and 4 weeks, so a month, I can practically guarantee that you'll have a client after that. Bearing in mind that you follow every single step in this video and you have a no-brainer offer to give a client. Like I said before, experience comes from working with real clients. Experience in copywriting doesn't come from just sitting and watching YouTube videos and consuming content. It comes from actually doing the thing. And like I said before as well, you don't need clients to do this. You can literally write practice emails to people, go and do some research onto your favorite brands. So for example, if you wanted to write for like physical product e-commerce brands, like could be a camera company, it could be, I don't know, look, I've just got loads of cameras around. Go and get on these people's email lists and look at the products they're selling, look at the emails they are already sending out, and then start writing emails potentially that this customer or client or brand could use to make more sales through email. And you can do this with any kind of niche, any kind of products. Just go out there, do some research. You could even search the hashtag on Instagram of the type of products or the type of industry you want to go into. So if you want to search like hashtag action cameras, and then you can start looking through there at what people are selling, what people are doing, get on people's email lists, that sort of thing. But practice comes down to, or like should I say, your experience and your actual skill and your craft comes down to time in the game. Putting the miles in, doing some practice copy even if you haven't got a client. Because what that is also going to do, that's going to boost your confidence. So then when you first do speak to a client or a potential client and they ask you for samples of your work or something like that, which they probably will, you can show them your the practice piece that you've written, or you can also write them a piece that they can use in their future campaigns. So if they ask, if you reach out to a client and they ask you, okay, that's cool, let me see some of your work, and you don't have anything prepared, you could either one, prepare them something just right off the bat, or you could say to them, okay, cool, what I can do is I can actually go away and I can produce for you 1, 2, maybe 3 emails that you can use in a campaign and see how they marry up against what you're already doing, see if they make a difference to your sales. That's what you can do, and that is really desirable for a brand as well. It shows you've got skin in the game, but it also shows you trying to give value up front and show your expertise. And doing that and coming across like that will show your confidence. And a lot of these businesses and brands, like I said in the previous video, they're not looking for essentially a guarantee on your work. All they're looking at doing is maximizing their time so they can make as much money as possible in a business, right? And leverage the tools and resources they have. If they want to go forward with you as a copywriter, they want to know with confidence that you can deliver what you're promising, because otherwise it's a waste of time and probably maybe a waste of money. But if you can confidently come across like you know what you're doing as a copywriter, you can show some samples of your work, or you can show previous work with other clients if you already have clients. This is going to set you in such a good position, and it will come across, even if you don't have any clients or you've only just started copywriting, like you know what you're talking about. And that's what businesses and brands want to see. They want to know what you're talking about. They want to see confidence in what you're doing. And this is really, really key when you're looking at getting copywriting clients. So let's talk about identifying clients. Every single person and business brand on earth can potentially be a copywriting client. When you start copywriting, you may have watched videos that tell you you need to niche down, you need to choose a niche, you need to only focus on working with these types of people and this type of business. What I'm trying to say is that don't choose a niche, or don't go down such a rabbit hole and tell people that you're only working with plumbers who live in Scotland, live in a 20-mile radius of Edinburgh, because all you're doing there is pigeonholing yourself into only that area or that business or those types of people. The thing about copywriting is once you learn the art of copywriting, you can apply it to any single niche, you can apply it to any single client, anything. So you can essentially write in anything. You don't niche down, is what I'm saying. Don't pick a niche. Don't do that. A lot of people do that, and that's why they struggle to get clients in the first place. What I personally would do is just pick something you're passionate about writing about. Like for me, it's mountain biking. I actually wouldn't go into mountain biking and look for clients in that niche. But say, for example, I wanted to help people in the online education space, people who are selling info products, online courses, things like that. That's a really, really lucrative niche, and people are always looking for people to help them make more money with the products that they're selling. So how do we find clients on platforms like Instagram? I did say I would give you my DM scripts, which I will give you those in just a second. On Instagram though, you can go on the search function and you can search niches by hashtags or products. So if you wanted to write in the skincare niche, you could write hashtag skincare and you could start going down rabbit holes and looking at products and finding brands that way and making a big list of all the brands that you want to reach out to. And then once you've got that list, then it comes down to reaching out to clients and starting the conversation. So the art of actually getting clients in direct messaging in Instagram, one, you're not actually trying to get a client to start, or you're just trying to start a conversation, but persistence is key, okay? So if you get ghosted by someone, because that's the reality, if you send 100 messages, probably 80% of those people will either not respond or they won't read your message because it'll be in their a different inbox or something. But don't get discouraged by that, because again, you only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients, if that, to make a really good income with copywriting, which is why I keep saying it's a volume game. It's all about numbers. It's all about how much time and messages that you can send out and how many outreaches you can do. That's what it all comes down to when it comes to getting a client. The more you do, the more you send out, the higher your chances are of getting that first or your next client. Don't be put off by getting rejected, because that's just the human life. That's just what happens sometimes. Don't get discouraged by it though. Just keep going. There is a yes at the end of the road, trust me. And another thing as well, how do you come across in DMs? How do you come across in Messenger? You have to think, these brands or businesses or people you're reaching out to, they probably get hundreds of DMs every single day about potential opportunities. You want to make sure that you're standing out above everybody else. So you're not sounding like a robot. You're not just using ChatGPT to create your messages. You want to kind of come across with a message that essentially looks like it can only have been sent to this one person, and it's not a copy and paste job, okay? So what does that mean? Every single thing you enter online, whether it is copywriting or you're starting something else, is saturated. There's so many people doing everything, right? So you can't compete on uniqueness essentially, but you can separate yourself on your personality. You're the only person with your personality as such. So why don't you just use that in your direct messages and your emails? Like, people buy from people, right? They buy from personalities, and you can leverage your personality, which is why you'll see in a second the DM scripts I use are so ridiculously simple. You'll probably overlook them actually and think, Christ, this is not enough. But I'm telling you, people value personality, people value human connection. Use it to your leverage, and don't just come across robotic or like some copy and paste job that has been sent to 150 other people already. Okay, so the DM scripts that I would use when I'm reaching out to brands is literally as simple as saying, hey, whatever name, hope you're doing good. It looks like you're crushing it on this platform. Looks like you're doing real well with this brand. Looks like you're really doing real well with this product. Looks like you've got something really cool going on. Are you using email? That's all you need to say, that's it. You'll get a number of different responses back from that. Either they're going to say, yes, we're already doing email. It's going great. Fine. Then you can get another response, which is, no, we're not using email. And then, yes, we're using email, but feel like we could do better with it. Those are kind of the only 3 options that someone will respond back to you in like different formats. Obviously, if somebody says they're already using email and they're doing real well from it, to me, that's already like a level of friction. They're probably not going to want to take you on as a copywriter, potentially. But if they're not using email, if they straight up say, no, I'm not using email, that's a door that opens straight away for you to talk about what you can offer and show your sample work. Same goes for if they are using email, but they know they could be doing a better job of it, because you can then come in and say, look, this is what I'm doing, this is what I can offer you. Can we do a test? Can we run some of my sample copy? Or I have some sample copy for you to have a look at, and you can use these emails and see if they have a difference to your sales and revenue when you run them. That is as simple as it needs to be for you to get your first copywriting client. That DM script is proven to work. It's personalized. It's not overly complicated. I know a lot of people watching this will probably think, oh, it's too simple, it won't work. That's the power in it. The simplicity is in the power. So don't try and change it. Change it to your personality, of course, but don't change the structure of it. Just ask a simple question and get the conversation going. And once you have a few back and forth messages on Instagram DM, then get their email address and move them into their email inbox. That's where you can have a conversation about business, about your offer, about going forward as a client or whatever. Instagram DM is the best place right now, I think, for reaching out and starting conversations with potential clients for copywriting. If you've got any questions on copywriting or getting clients, pop them in the description below. And there will also be a link in the description to something that may help you out with getting started with copywriting.